Here's the Detroit Mayor with IOW Sports, asking you to tune in to our live show streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube every Monday at 4 p.m. and every Thursday at 5 p.m. Join me and Wildcard Mom and the big homie Nick Shine on the IOW network. And don't forget to like and subscribe our channel and call and rep your team. What up, though? Here's Detroit Mail with IOW Sports Short, and we're going to talk about the thing that's going on with the Boston Celtics coach, Ime Udoka. I think I'm saying this name right. We're going to play this couple clips, then we're going to talk about it, then we're going to get out of your way.
Tonight, Celtics coach Ime Udoka could be facing a significant suspension.
There are new reports this morning that he had an inappropriate relationship with a Celtics staffer. Let's get right to Levin live this morning at the Garden with what we know at this point. Lev?
Liam McKay, ESPN basketball insider Adrian Wojnarowski broke this late last night, and since then there have been multiple reports about that relationship that he had with a staffer, and Ime Udoka is facing a significant team suspension. Now, the initial information came out about 10:35 late last night, and it came out in a rather vague tweet. Woke reported that, according to sources, Udoka is facing possible disciplinary action, including a significant suspension for an unspecified violation of organizational guidelines. It went on to say discussions are ongoing within the Celtics on a final determination. Now, since that time, it has been reported by multiple outlets that Celtics head coach Ime Udoka was in a consensual, intimate relationship with a member of the franchise's staff. Now, the players have been informed, and as of right now, it is not clear if Ime Udoka's job is in jeopardy, but the Celtics have said they want to move fast on this. Training camp for the C's starts next week. Obviously, this is something that we get on top of real quick. We're live outside the TD Garden. I'm Levin Reed for WBZ This Morning.
So as you can see, and I'm sure you probably heard by now, he had a consensual relationship with a staff. So he had a side chick. Let's just cut it to the chase. He had a side chick. It's just what it is. We don't know how long it's been going on, but it sounds like he had a side chick. It is what it is. Things like these happen. Nick and I addressed it on the Thursday show, but things started. More and more things start rolling out about it. Initially, they came out with it, and they said that they wouldn't give any details. And now I guess more and more stuff being leaked out about it. He gave a statement, but then them folks from First Take had something to say. So I'm thinking it'd be interesting because I'm gonna play that video, and then I'm going to get into the rest of the video. And I'm going to get out your hair.
Stephen A., with all due respect, this is not about pointing the finger. Stop. What became apparent to me in this press conference is that we do not have all of the information here. And it was frustrating to me that the Celtics declined to elaborate or to give more specifics about what exactly the rule breaking was that led us to this point. So that I just want to get that out of the way first. But to answer your question, Molly, I think what stood out to me, I think what stood out to me is that Brad Stevens, he was upset. That's what stood out to me about what he termed rampant Twitter BS is the word that he used, that women were unfairly dragged into this within the Celtics organization. You could see that Brad Stevens was visibly upset about this. And I also found that to be gross and unnecessary, that folks were bringing in the names and the images of women that is just not a fact. That was purely speculation. And so to me, that is what stood out. But the Celtics as an organization could have done more, and short of doing more ahead of this yesterday, they could have owned that responsibility in this press conference. I understand that there were legal parameters that they had to operate within for everybody involved, and I appreciate the fact that they brought in outside counsel and did a thorough organization. And I think that that is something that was clearly necessary in this situation. But the fact that it was able to go on all day, the fact that we are sitting here debating whether somebody else should have been suspended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is not why we are here.
First of all, let me be very clear. I don't appreciate where you're going with that. I'm not blaming anybody but Ime Udoka. He deserves, the fact of the matter is, I've said he deserved to be fired if they were going to fire him. If you're not going to fire him, then don't fire him. My issue is all of this being publicized. The point that I'm trying to make is just like you're not mentioning. Excuse me. I listened to you. You're the one telling me to stop on my show. It ain't happening. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I've already said he deserves to be fired, or he deserves to be there and handle it internally and privately. If you're not going to handle it privately, if you're going to publicize it in that fashion, then obviously it provokes everybody wanting to know, okay, well, who are the parties involved? When you have Amina Smith in Boston and other women pointing out the fact that there were women who were wrongly implicated in all of this, it's a disservice to them. I didn't come out with the report about a consensual relationship. I didn't come out with the report ahead of time leaking that they were going to suspend him for the year. They did that. And my point is, considering how pervasive this kind of stuff has existed in professional sports for many years, my whole point is that, excuse me, make sure that you handle it in the same fashion it has always been handled. You could have fired him, and then we could have speculated till the cows come home, but he's gone. But to keep him there, keep him employed, but in the same breath, suspend him for a year, then also that year is indefinite. That is the issue that I have. Nobody's trying to protect Ime Udoka, and certainly nobody is trying to protect, is to excoriate the women involved or anything like that. I'm talking about how things of this matter are usually handled from an HR perspective, from an organizational perspective. That is not consistent with what we have seen throughout the years. That is the only point that I was trying to make. I'm not trying to attack anybody. And if anybody deserves to be attacked, it's Ime Udoka for putting himself in this position.
All right. So now you got, all right. So now you heard the video. I don't want to play too much more of it, but I just want to get you the gist of what I want, a few points I want to talk about. And like I said, I'm going to get out your way. I hate to say it, but reluctant, there are some points that Stephen A. Smith said that I do agree with. I don't think the man should be fired, so I disagree with that. You know, what he did, you can argue with it morally, but I don't think it should be a fireable offense. Not just my own personal opinion. I don't think he should be fired for having a side chick, because I'm sure there's others in the league who are not players got multiple side chicks. Ime Udoka is not married. Yeah, Nia Long is his fiance, but the man's not married. So, you know, him having another chick on the side, hey, that's his business. Now, if it's written to his contract and it goes against team rules, that's another discussion. I think that's something Nick had brought up on the show. That's another discussion. But to say that he should be fired for that, I disagree with that. I think her name was Malika Andrews. I might be wrong. I think it's Malika Andrews. She said she talked about that they didn't bring out what exactly was the rule that he broke. And in the same breath, she mentioned, oh, well, you know, it could be legal. Well, you ask your own question. When it comes to things like this, a team has to, first of all, they have to protect themselves. They have to do damage control. They have to protect themselves when things come out and it's leaked. And so they bring in a legal team. So they're going to tell you as little as possible. And I'm going to tell you what all those other things, because of legal things. Legal things can be involved. So yeah, you answered your own question when you said that. But the one thing I want to get to she said women were unfairly dragged into unfairly dragged into this thing by giving names and image and stuff like that. Here's what I say to that. Once it all becomes public, then for the most part, things like that becomes fair game. Now, what should have been done, it should have been handled behind closed doors. Once Boston Celtics was aware of what's going on, they should have handled it behind closed doors and maintained it in house. You know, tell little people as possible so that you have a few opportunity for it to be leaked. If you kept it between him, the executives, and and whoever the young lady is that he had the affair with, that's it. And you make them all sign NDAs. What stays here, what said here stays here. That's it. You handle it. And I do agree with Stephen A. Smith. You could have just suspended the guy, and no one would be, and the people just speculate what's going on. That's your business. Now, I do agree with Stephen A. Smith again. I know this really hurt me. I have to say that when he mentioned the fact that for the Boston Celtics to suspend him indefinitely, to me, is a bit much. I think that you give him a few game suspension and you move on, because this is between him and his wife. This is not a basketball issue. It's not a basketball issue. It could be a contractual issue. That's well and good. And I don't know what do you have a set discipline? A set punishment for violating that particular contract? And if it is an indefinite suspension? Is that what it is? I don't think that's what it is, but I don't know for sure. However, if it is, that should be changed. That's just too much to me for something that's not a basketball issue. It's a moral issue. You are injecting your moral your moral thoughts, or your moral, so word I'm looking for is escaping me, your moral perception onto another person. This man's not married. So if he want to have multiple women, it's up to him. It's between him and his other person, all the women that's involved. Now, if you publicly put him out there, then I think the person that he's with should be put out there too. How's it you protected one but not protect the other? I don't think that goes against attacking women. Or, you saying she said you're attacking women. I disagree. You talking about two parties. If the roles were reversed and she was the coach and he was the staffer, would you have that same energy? I don't think you would. I think you would say, oh, you're attacking the coach then because of the female. You can't just because of the female say, oh, you're attacking women. No, it's two people involved in this. You can't put one publicly out there and then don't put the other name out there. Now, I don't think all those other people should have been put out there because of speculation. However, like I said before, when it becomes public, sometimes things become free, open game, open season. But how I think it should be handled, if it becomes public, both people should be punishment according to the level of the violation. So I mean by that, he is in a position of power, so you can say it's coercion to a degree. You know what I'm saying? However, she still got involved in that. Did she make steps to make it? It was consensual. You know what I'm saying? So did she make steps and say, and I know in coercion, she felt like she had no way. It means she felt she had no other way out because the other person in power. However, she could have went to management after she had consensual sex with him and felt like, hey, I think I was coerced in this, and made him aware of that. And then they could have disciplined accordingly. But since we don't know the facts, all we can do is speculate. But however, if that wasn't the case of coercion, and she just went along with it because she was attracted to this man, and they both had consensual sex, and they violated policy, then they both need to be punished. Him being a head coach, he may get more punishment than what the staffer should, but both of them should have some kind of punishment. It doesn't mean you attacking women. And it's like if I raise a point that may be a negative point against a woman, doesn't mean I'm attacking women as a whole. I'm not attacking that gender. I'm just talking about this particular incident in this particular time, in this particular time frame, period. And I think that you do a disservice to women or to any cause that you raise when you always try to make everything anti-women. Still, let's look at the facts. Let's wait till the facts come out, and then let's attack. Now, if it's anti-women, by all means, you know what I'm saying? By all means, get on your soapbox and attack against it, and go against it. I don't have a problem with that. I'm with you on that. However, every time it seems to me, and just like we making these statements now, someone gonna say, "Oh, it's anti-women." It's anti. No, I'm making a statement about this particular incident at this particular time between these two particular people. I think it's a moral issue and not a basketball issue, but it could be a contractual issue because we don't know what's in the contract, or a policy issue. Let's say that.